Hello and welcome to Ellen Ruth Soap. I'm Ellen and today I'm doing a remake with a twist of a soap that I've made before. We're making it again today. It's Calamine Soap and I love this for a couple different reasons. One is calamine is such a beautiful pink color and the soap is lovely to look at, and the other thing is calamine is just fantastic. So here is my calamine powder. I got this on Amazon. And it's a beautiful blushy pink, but I will be bumping up that pink color with a little bit of my rose kaolin clay just to kind of add to the goodness too, because I'm going to put clay in it anyway. So I'll do rose instead of white kaolin along with the calamine powder for a beautiful blushy pink bar. And for the fragrance today, I'm going to use my lemongrass and ginger from Nature's Garden. This smells really nice. I think it's kind of a relaxing, vibrant, well, vibrant and relaxing don't go together. I just think it sounds sort of zen. I think it's fantastic. So that's going to be the fragrance in this calamine soap today. So what is calamine powder? Well, it's beautiful pink color, which comes from zinc oxide and iron oxide. So the zinc is white. If you've ever seen the old like surfers from the 60s with the white on their nose, that was zinc oxide paste that they would put on there as a sunscreen. And then iron oxide is a very rusty red color. And when you combine the two, you get that beautiful pink blushy color of calamine powder. And when I grew up, my mom used to put, I called it the pink stuff, when I would get mosquito bites or any bug bites, you know, the anti-itch stuff. So calamine has a lot of different properties. I'm putting it in the soap, and this soap will get you clean. You can look up why you might want to put calamine in your soap. Or try calamine bar. But we're coming into gardening season, bugs and outdoors, you know, as we get into spring and everybody's going to be, you know, coming out from the winter, and along with that comes bug bites, itchy skin. You're out, you know I get really itchy skin when I'm gardening or cleaning up the yard, any debris and stuff. So I love a good calamine soap. So that's what I'm going to say on that. Today I'm going to be doing aloe vera soap with this because I thought along with the skin soothing of calamine, aloe vera just pairs with it so perfectly. And I'm not going to do any color swirls. It's going to be one solid color. So it's kind of a simple design, kind of a simple pour, but it's beautiful. So I just didn't want to take away from the beautifulness of the rose clay and the calamine powder. That's the star of the show. So let me get everything pulled together and let's come back and make some lemongrass and ginger calamine soap. All right, it is time to add the dry additives into my oils here, and the fragrance oil is already in here. I've soaped with it before and it behaves really, really well. Plus we're not doing any swirls or anything complicated, so this is such a simple pour. I felt confident putting the fragrant oil right in here. So for the dry ingredients, I'm going to be doing my organic colloidal oats, and just 2 big tablespoons of those are in here. And now here is my calamine powder. Look at that beautiful blushy pink. It is so pretty. Calamine powder can speed trace in a soap because of the oxides in there. So that's just something to note if you were trying to do a swirl with the calamine powder. This is a 2 tablespoon coffee scoop, and I have a very heaping, I would call this probably close to 3 tablespoons of calamine powder. I'm gonna pop in there because I love it that much. Set that off to the side, and then here is my rose clay just to bump that pink up a little. Go ahead and add. So I'm using this instead of kaolin, white kaolin clay. I'm using the rose clay, and this is just shy. So that's probably about 1.5 tablespoons of rose clay. And that is it for the additives. The aloe vera lye solution is off to the side cooling. I'm going to get these blended in and really let them absorb and anchor in here before we get to adding our lye solution and pour it. And I wanted to show you, I have this beautiful, it's kind of a medium coarse grain pink rock salt that I'm going to sprinkle down on top. Every time I make this calamine bar, I put these on top because I just think the colors go with the theme beautifully. So those are going down on top after it gets poured. But first I got to blend this up. Back, and look at that beautiful blushy color. This looks just like the pink stuff my mom used to put on me when I was a kid. I love that color. Anyway, here is my aloe vera lye solution. It's 50% distilled water, 50% aloe vera juice. I've dissolved some sugar in the liquid, the aloe in the water, dissolve the sugar before you add the lye. I put Tessa silk fibers and their sodium lactate at a rate of 1 teaspoon per pound of oils. I get asked all the time, why do you put sugar in your lye solution? Sugar is a lather booster. Sugar makes fluffy, abundant lather in soaps, and I just love that, so I put it in there. It is totally unnecessary. You don't need to put sugar in your soap ever, and it will still lather, so it's just something extra that I like to add. So let's get this all blended together. Nothing else going on except getting this blended and poured into our mold, and we will put the pretty salt on the top, and that's about it till it's all set up. I will let this go through gel phase tonight. Calamine soap can get very hot in the mold, so I will check on it and make sure it's not overheating. If I see it start to rise in the middle or get any cracks at all, I will throw it right in the refrigerator and slow down the gel on it. But so I do like to gel my soaps, so that is what I'm going to attempt to do tonight. But right now, I say tonight, it's daytime right now, but I let it go overnight. That's what I mean. Let's get this lye in here and get it up to a nice solid trace before we pour into the molds. Back. It is the next day. It's been about 24 hours since we got this in the mold, and I'm happy to say it did not overheat. I did put the wooden lid on here, and I kept coming down and feeling the side of the mold, and it was doing okay, so I went ahead and threw a blanket over it. No overheating issues, and this fragrance and everything behaved like a dream. There's no swirls to see, but let's get in here and just look at the gloriousness of this beautiful blushy calamine bar. With the lovely Olga, and it's time to get into our first loaf, and I will be putting this with the salt side down to help reduce the amount of drag marks going through. If you have chunky bits on your soap, you want to cut them with them facing down to reduce them getting snagged on a wire and pulled through the soap, like botanicals can do that. It's not a big deal, it's just a little aesthetic, the drag marks, but if you can reduce them, I say go for it. So the salt is on the downside, and let's see what we've got going on the inside here. Oh, it's just beautiful. It just looks soothing to me. Even, the color of it, and there's nothing fancy going on. Just goodness. And this lemongrass ginger scent is very nice. Definitely unisex, just pleasant, very spa-like, I think. And let's talk here. Let me see. If you can pick up a little bit of the flecks in here. I don't know if you can see that on the camera. So some of that is from the colloidal oats. colloidal oats can leave like little natural flecks in your soap, and some of it is the rose clay. So that's just, I think they're beautiful. Kind of gives it a little character. So anyway, not a lot to see going on here, but let's keep cutting. All right, next loaf going in, salt side down. Let's talk about making specialty soaps like this. I would consider this a specialty soap because, you know, the calamine powder is sort of the main selling point of this soap. And I did not use a special, that's a little rose clay dot there. I did not use a special soap recipe for this soap. This is my regular soap recipe, and instead of kale and clay I used rose clay, and then I added the calamine powder too. So you could take any good cold processed soap recipe that you love and make it a calamine soap. It's not a special formula. Now there are more, you know, gentle conditioning oils that you can use, more cleansing oils, so you can tweak your recipe that way. Look at the cute twirl. But anyway, I get asked, you know, what's your recipe for calamine soap? Well, it's a regular soap recipe with calamine powder. Unlike my triple butter soap that I make is a different recipe than my normal Ellen Ruth soap recipe, which I have not shared that recipe at this time, but it may be coming in the future. I have several other great cold process recipes on YouTube. I'll leave a link down below where I share 4 awesome cold process soap recipes in a video, and I'll leave a link for that if you're looking for a good recipe. I kicked around several hundred, I would say, felt like 1,000, but probably just 100 cold process recipes when I first started for about 10 years until I found the one that just clicked for me. It just was a good fit. I liked it, and I liked how it came out. It was consistent, and so that is my core recipe. And you can do that too. Just try all the recipes that look good to you, and you'll find the one that just seems right for you. All right, last loaf here. I just love the simplicity of this. I really, you know, I love my fancy swirly patterns and all that, but once in a while, just making a very simple soap like this, it really, I think it's beautiful. So there's some little rose clay speckles, which I don't think it detracts. I think they're really cute. Gives it kind of a very earthy, organic-y look. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's video. And if you're a soap maker, I hope you give calamine soap a try. Get some. I'll leave a link for the type that I buy on Amazon down below, but any calamine powder will do. I have not made it using the liquid calamine lotion that you can buy. I have heard of other soapers in forums saying that they've used the calamine lotion. I have never done that, so I can't even speak to that, but the powder works perfectly. So I encourage you to give it a try or grab a bar. Either way, it's good. This is wonderful. I'm going to definitely be grabbing one of these for my bathroom upstairs for my gardening and yard cleaning hands and skin afterwards. I get the itchies when I've been outside all day, so I love a bar calamine soap. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed today's video, and thank you for joining me. Have a wonderful day.